Hi guys, welcome back. More problems on the quadratic equation, and we're gonna go over two methods today of how we solve the quadratic equation, either by completing the square or by factoring. So usually, first thing you try to factor the equation because that's the easiest way. And then if this doesn't work, then we're gonna have to look for other methods like completing the square or using the quadratic equation, which we're gonna go over in a future video. So we're gonna start off with first with factoring the quadratic equation by completing the square of quadratic equation, right? So in order to do that, we're gonna just go straight to a problem. So the first problem, it said solve the quadratic equation. And we have, it said 4v squared plus 16v plus 23 equals 0. Okay, in order to complete, if we try to factor this one, it's not going to be, we won't be able to factor it. So in order to complete the square, we have to put the equation in a certain format. So the regular format, it said ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, right? So in order to do that, we want to put this equation in this format here, which is x squared plus bx. Then we can say equals 0, say equals 0, okay? We have to put in this format. And the b is usually, to get the b, we take the b and divide it by 2 and square it, and that's gonna be the value which is gonna complete the equation squared. So let's dive into exactly to the problem. Okay, so first we have to try to make this equation looks like that. So what first thing we do here, we're gonna divide by 4. So divide by 4. So this will be v squared plus 4v plus 23 over 4 equal 0. Okay, we can move this to the other side. So it will be v squared plus 4v equal to minus 23 over 4. All right. Then what is the b value here? If we compare this equation to that one, so x squared is v squared, 4v is the bx. So what's the b value? It's 4. So we take that b value divided by 2, so 4 over 2, and then we square it, right? Which is going to be equal 2 squared 4. So take this value and we add 4 to both sides. So we say v squared plus 4v plus 4 equal minus 23 over 4 plus 4. And now we completed the square for this equation here. So once we get it in that format, now we're going to have, so you take the x, you can say x plus b over 2 all square. And that's going to be your factoring for this. So in this case, we say v x, which is equal v plus 4, the b is 4, 4 over 2 is 2, all square equal to right side, which is minus 23 over 4 plus, we can make this 416 over 4. It's the same like 4 here. All right. So now we have the completing the square form. So we can solve our problem here. So let's simplify this. So it will be v plus 2 all squared equal to, take the 4, the common denominator, minus 23 plus 16, that's minus 7, right? And then v plus 2 will be equal, take the square root of this, plus or minus, because it's a square, of square root minus 7 over 4. So this is exactly like minus 1 times 7 over 4. Minus 1, we know it's equal I, right? Imaginary part. So we're going to get this I, a square root of 7 over 4. Okay, so it will be v plus 2 plus or minus I, a square root of 7 over 4 under the root. And then further simplification. So v will equal, we move the 2 to the other side. So it will be minus 2 plus or minus I, a square root. We can take the 4 out of the root, 7 over 2. All right. So this example is for completing the square. All right, let's take more problems on we try to find what is the best methods we use to solve the equation. So let's try that one. 9x squared plus 9x equal 4. So let's try factoring first. Factoring is the easiest way. So how are we going to factor? Well, let's subtract 4 from both sides. All right? Subtract 4 both sides of the equation. So it would be 9x squared plus 9x minus 4 equal 4 minus 4, which is going to be equal 0, right? So then let's try to factor this. So which says 3x times 3x equals 0. On a 2 number, we multiply, we get negative 4, and we add, we get 9x. So let's try both 4 and 1. So let's try that. So plus minus. So let's confirm that we have this. So 3x, this is 9x squared. Minus 3x. Okay, then we do this one. Plus 12x. All right, then minus 4 equals 0. So 9x squared minus 3x plus 12x, that's a plus 9x, and minus 4, which is, okay, my equation here. So that's, my factoring is correct, right? So we're going to use this factoring. All right, so what does that mean? It means that 3x plus 4 is equal 0, or 3x minus 1 is equal 0. So 3x equal negative 4, so x will be equal negative 4 over 3. That's my first x value. So 3x equal 1, so x will be equal 1 over 3. That's my second x value. So my two x values is minus 4 over 3, or 1/3. That's the second one. So we didn't really need to complete the square or use a quadratic equation formula for that. It's just by completing by factoring, we were able to solve the problem. Okay, let's take one more. 3m plus 2 all squared equal to -4. So I see that one, it's already the form of completing the square. So it's just a matter of completing the second half of completing the square method. So we will say 3m plus 2 equal plus or minus the square root of -4. So that means 3m equal plus 2 equal, we just said -1, so that's I plus or minus I 2i, because square root of 4 is 2 and minus 1 is I, so that's plus or minus 2i. So 3m will be equal minus 2 plus or minus 2i. So m will be equal -2 over 3 plus or minus 2 over 3i. So that one very straightforward, right? Okay, let's try that one. X squared plus 2x equal 2. So if we try to factor this one, so we say x squared plus 2x minus 2 equals 0. Say x times x equals 0. So we say 2, 1 plus minus. So that will be x squared minus x plus 2x minus 2. So minus x plus x, that's 1x, which is not the same, right? So that means it doesn't work. So say if we change the sign, we make x minus 2, x plus 1, the same. So if we say we replace the numbers, so x plus 1, x minus 2, x squared minus 2 plus x minus 2. So it's still not going to be, we're not going to get the same one. So that means factoring is not going to work. So what the second easiest form, so that means it's not going to work. The second easiest form is by completing the square. Okay, let's put in the form of completing the square, right? So it's already in the form, which is x squared plus bx. That's the form, right? So b is equal 2 over 2 squared, which is 1, right? So we're going to add 1 to both sides. So it will be x squared plus 2x plus 1 equal 2. It's 1. And then once we get that, the form, it should be the form for completing the square. It should be x, right, plus b over 2 all square, right? So x plus b over 2, which is 1 all square equal to 3, right? That's the form. So that means x plus 1 equal to plus or minus the square root of 3. So x will equal -1 plus or minus the square root of 3. And that's the answer here. Okay. Then 8u squared plus 3u equals 0. So that one, let's take the u as a common factor. So 8u plus 3 equals 0. So u equals 0, or 8u plus 3 equals 0. So 8u equal to -3. So u will be equal -3 over 8. So that means the u is equal 0 or -3 over 8. So that is, we need to find out what is the easiest way to solve the quadratic equation. So we have the factoring, we have completing the square, and later on we're going to say using the quadratic equation formula to solve the problem. So if you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe for the channel. And thank you very much. I see you in